Jerry Jennings, welcome to Orlando, Florida. It's our honor to have you here at East versus West 14. So grateful that you could make it and spend time with us. Looking forward to the event?
Absolutely.
That's a good one, eh?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's going to be a doozy.
Yeah. What do you think about the card? Is there any match, how about this? It's a great card, right? What about John and this young kid? Do you know Leonidas?
I'm not really familiar with him. Some of these.
Have you watched any of Leonidas' matches?
I believe I've seen maybe one, to be honest with you.
I mean, you gotta think of John. I mean, you and John are close in age, right?
Yeah, only a year difference. Yeah.
He's still fighting. You know, does it make you think you want to get back in there or what?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
My wife might have something else to say about that.
Yeah.
But, myself, yes, I would really like to get back into it.
How is the body holding up? I mean, tell us, please, just a bit about your career, the highs, like what you've seen, where you see arm wrestling now as compared to, years ago.
Well, obviously one of the largest events was Over the Top, so that was a big deal, and that was great to be able to compete in it. Won 2 qualifiers, beating Dave Patton for the first 2 times at the same tournament. I won that tournament in Denver, defeating Dave.
Wow.
First time I'd ever pulled him. So that was a big feather in the cap, so to speak.
Yes.
Built my confidence level up even more moving forward, and I've had some downs. I had, I believe it was '88 in Montreal, I tore my medial ligament just out of nowhere. I was in total control of the match. I was only about 40% into it, just getting ready to hit the guy, and it just went out of the blue. And Engen and I had discussed how you never know when something's going to happen. I mean, because it was totally unexpected. And obviously they didn't have the surgery to correct that at the time, so that created a problem for me because it took away a lot of side pressure and a lot of back pressure, but I still decided to stay in the sport. And then over the next 4 years, we didn't send anybody to the Worlds in Tel Aviv, but as a U.S. team anyway. And but I did go to I went to the 90 and then 92 World Championships, and the 89s followed that, obviously. So the 89, 90, and 92, I won all 3 of those with a torn medial ligament. Was still able to win the stand-up, sit-down nationals, all the major tournaments, and then still compete at a world level and still win. It just took a lot more to do that, a lot more smarts, so to speak, as opposed to the smarts and more dominating strength. I had to really work hard at it. Had longer matches with people that I normally didn't, and it got a little frustrating and painful, but I wanted to keep doing it. Finally called it quits in 92, obviously, but as far as the sport evolving, I mean, the social media, I think, has done a big thing for arm wrestling, bringing it more of a spotlight onto it than ever before. It's really being able to reach every corner of the world now. So I think that's great. It's bringing a lot more money into the sport, a lot more recognition overall. And then have you guys competing. You've got some outstanding arm wrestlers today that are competing. So people are getting to see just what it takes to be able to be a world-class arm wrestler. So
since 92, you kind of retired mostly in 92, but I feel like I've seen you around a lot. You've kept up with the scene.
Yeah, pretty much. I'd gone to a tournament in 96. It was a tournament of champions in Ohio, and Karen Bean chased me around with an entry form. So I entered the 198s. Didn't want to. I wasn't ready for it. I had umbilical hernia too. Didn't have the stuff I needed to compete with. The cotton tape $50 belt. So I told her, I said I could drop out. If my arm hurts too bad, I'll drop out. So I ended up pulling in that, and I don't recall the name of the individual. I believe he was a Canadian national champion at 198. And Gerald Dees was there, and Gerald had just won the nationals beating Johnny Walker, so he was in my class. But I beat him twice, once in the final, put him out, I won. So that made me feel a little better, but I shut down after that, and not until 2000, when my dad actually told people that I was going to be competing in a tournament, and I wasn't. I was just going to see it. Well, I felt obligated to pull, so I ended up pulling. And again, I was in a much heavier class than I used to pull in. And, I was pulling 154 or 70 kilo before, and ended up having to pull Michael Todd, who would come up.
You pulled Michael Todd?
I pulled Michael Todd.
In that tournament in 96?
Oh, yeah, in 2000.
In 2000?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Have I seen that match, or am I just forgetting?
I don't think anyone had videoed it. I won the tournament, but I was going to drop out because my medial ligament tore. We got in a scrap, and when I went to hit him again, when I was holding him and went to hit him again, it tore even more. The same sound, same feeling, so it made it even worse. And the person running the tournament asked if I was going to drop out because I was in a lot of pain, and I said no. So I came back and beat him twice and won the tournament.
Oh, that's awesome. So you got a win over Michael?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's a big win. Hey, you see Michael pulling this against this guy Camille.
He's going to have his work cut out for him there.
Yeah, it's a big match.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm so curious about the over-the-top tournament. It's probably, the biggest tournament that ever existed. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yes, oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm so curious, the energy, the environment, anything you can tell me about that. And everybody who's watching East versus West, we're also curious about that event.
Right. It was just crazy. You just feel electricity in the air. It was huge. It went for an extremely long time, which really kind of took its toll on the pullers, just because of the large number of people and incorporating some filming and stuff in between. But it was definitely an endurance game with that thing, because it did run a long time. But it brought at that point in arm wrestling, it brought many of the top world competitors, compared to anything else that was happening, into one place. When you base it on a Stallone movie, obviously it's a pretty popular guy there, so everybody wanted to get a piece of that. So, but yeah, it was something else. That's
you were you what was the division there? Was it 65, 165?
No, I think it was 150.
150.
My division, yeah. Because Dave was in that one. Yeah. Yep.
And did you beat Dave that day?
No, we had over 4-minute match.
Wow.
And they had what was called a glove.
So not
a big
strap.
leather. No.
Okay.
And of course, I wanted on my side, and it went the other way. So I'm holding on to a buff piece of leather.
Okay.
That doesn't do well when you want it.
So we've come a ways.
Yes, that was the only tournament I've ever seen that in.
Okay.
It kind of threw me off.
Was this Marvin? Marvin's idea?
I'm not sure whose idea that was. It could have been Marvin's. I don't know.
Yeah. Marvin's going to be here.
He is?
Yeah.
You're kidding me.
I'm serious.
Wow.
Yeah.
That'll be great.
Yeah.
Get to see him after a long time.
Yeah.
That'll be great.
What was it like arm wrestling Dave Patton?
Oh, it was always tough.
Yeah.
It was always tough. We had a lot of grueling matches throughout our matchups over time. And most of them were fairly lengthy. So yeah, it was pretty intense.
Yeah, he's
pretty intense.
Super. Like I like to watch his setup. Like I feel like during that era, especially, he was more difficult to set up with.
Right. Yeah, he tried to get what he could. That's for sure. But you just had to try and overcome it, I guess.
Oh, you're you've seen a lot over your time. What have you learned from arm wrestling?
learn from arm wrestling?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah. I mean, you've been doing it a long time, you know.
Well, I don't want to say actually learned. You hung me up on that one. My mind might be defaulting to a different direction. I don't know what it is, but
That's it's kind of an odd question.
Yes, it is.
I just know that you've been at this game a long time. You know, you've seen a lot of things, and you know, your advice, your knowledge to pass on to guys coming up. You know, a lot of guys now. The sport is big. You know, like, and you have this reach now. You know, with social media.
Right.
You know, people are able to speak to hundreds of thousands, millions of people. You know, people watch, and advice you would give guys who not like yourself, not even guys who've been arm wrestling like 3 or 4 years, guys who are watching this for the first time and thinking about arm wrestling, advice you would give them to begin their journey.
Well, I would say, if not entering smaller, more local tournaments, if they can find them around, at least going and watching and trying to take in what's involved, and then talk to people. Maybe even they could do that before they decide to actually compete. Gain a little bit more knowledge, find out if there's practices somewhere local that they could take part in to learn a little bit more about it. I mean, I know a lot of people, they go in cold to their first tournament and then get smoked, and then they're like, I'm out. And you can't look at it that way. You know, even if that happens, you need to stick with it, talk to the individuals that are more experienced that you can find, and actually just work at it, train hard, and just don't give up. You're going to go through a lot of aches and pains, serious aches and pains, as you probably well know. I just had a discussion downstairs with somebody about this.
Yeah.
And I said, but it'll eventually, the worst of that stuff will go away, and just keep on hitting it. So
there's a rumor that you got a match coming up.
Me?
Yeah, you.
A rumor.
I heard a rumor. That you're pulling someone at some point. Coming up.
Oh, are you talking about Nyazi?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was put on the table. Engen had asked me about that. Yes.
Yeah.
So
you gonna get fixed up? You gonna get back in there?
I'm gonna sure try.
Yeah, that's great.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, Jerry, it's so great having you here. It's our honor to have you. I look forward to enjoying this event with you. Yeah. Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah, I look forward to partying with you, and afterwards, just go slow with me, because I'm not my best right now. But man, I'd love to pull with you afterwards. Yeah.
Maybe tug a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm totally out of shape after 2.5 years out in the gym. So.
I don't want any professional. Yeah. Thank you so much, buddy. Great to have you here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Looking forward to enjoying the show with you.
All right.
There you go. Jerry Jannings, everybody. Arm wrestling legend. East versus West 14. Thank you, Engen, for bringing us all together.